Good afternoon, my YouTube viewers. It is Palestine here. I'm here to make another video, and it is an update on my cancer diagnosis. So this morning I had an appointment at Outpatients to go to the breast clinic. And so before I had the appointment, because I was told that I would be in there for several hours, so we went and had breakfast in the dining facility before I had my appointment. And it was good, but it was expensive just for the two of us. It was £10.60 just for breakfast for the two of us. So the prices have really gone up, and this is the cost of living increase. And then my boyfriend bought me a latte, and he got a tea for himself, and he said that was about £5. And then so we went to the outpatients where they had the breast clinic, and then I saw the doctor, and he asked me what I understood about what was going on. And I said, well, I knew that the cancer is a grade 3 and it is aggressive. So he was telling me what he was going to do. He said that it's going to be a lumpectomy. I said I didn't understand. I said because they told me that the tumor was 2 centimeters, but whenever I went and saw the radiologist, she said it was 20 centimeters, and I said I didn't understand that, and he said no, it's 2 centimeters, so it's less than an inch, because I was really worried when she said it was 20 centimeters. Maybe she meant 20 millimeters, I'm not sure, but I was really worried about that being 20 centimeters, because that's like 8 inches, 25 centimeters is 10 inches. So 20 centimeters would be 8 inches. And I was like, what's going on here? So it's only 2 centimeters. It's not 20 centimeters. So it's actually less than an inch. I was having anxiety all morning long, worrying about it. I didn't sleep very well, but I didn't tell them that I didn't sleep very well. They asked me what medications I was on, and I told them. They asked me, did I have a history of cancer in my family? And I said, yes. I said, because my sister had a hysterectomy, and when they biopsied her uterus, they said that she had carcinoma, and carcinoma is cancer. And she didn't have any treatment after she had the hysterectomy. I think the hysterectomy was the treatment. And then my aunt, she had cancer, breast cancer, and they said that it was due to hormones because she was taking HRT. And then I told him that my mom had lumps on her breast, but they weren't cancerous. And I said that's why I was really surprised when they told me that I had cancer. And so he told me everything he was going to do. They're going to put a marker in the tumor so they'll know what part of the tumor to remove. And so that's going to be at the end of the month. I'm going to get a marker. And then I'm going to have to take 2 weeks off work to have this procedure, because I said, well, how long do I need to take off work? And he said 3 weeks. And I said, well, I can't take off 3 weeks. I said, because I'm on a 0-hour contract and I can't take off 3 weeks. So I'm going to take leave for 7 days. And I'm going to go back after 7 days because I can't take 3 weeks off. And then so they examined me, and they said also they're going to take out some lymph nodes. And another thing that he said was that there was another part of the biopsy that they were receiving the rest of the results from the biopsy to see if I was receptive to chemotherapy. And if this part of the biopsy comes back and says I'll be receptive to chemotherapy, they're going to give me chemotherapy too. So that means it's a lot of time off that I'm going to need to take because I have this very aggressive form of cancer. And they said, well, you're going to meet the nurse. So we went and sat in the waiting room, and then we waited to be called by the nurse. And the nurse was asking me some questions about my family history. And one of the things that she asked me was, do I have to pay for my prescriptions? And I said, no. I said, I'm over 60. And she says, well, you don't look it. So, yeah, I am over 60, so I don't have to pay for my prescriptions. And for the time being, you never know what this Labor government is going to do. But for the time being, I don't have to pay for my prescriptions. And then I asked them about the pre-op. I said because we were told we were going to have to do a pre-op. And she told us where in the hospital we had to go to do the pre-op, because I didn't know anything about that. I knew I had to go to pre-op, but nobody told me anything about pre-op. So we had to go somewhere else in the hospital to do pre-op. But I don't really want to say where it was that we went. But we did go to another section of hospital to have pre-op. And then they weighed you, and that's always really hard, being weighed, you know. And then in addition to that, what else did they do? Oh yeah, they gave me an ECG, checked my heart, and then they checked my blood pressure. And they said, does your heart normally beat fast? And I said, no. I said, I've just been anxious all day. I mean, what did they think if they tell you you have a very aggressive form of cancer? How did they think you're going to feel? And then took a lot of blood off of me, and it was hard for the technician to actually get the blood, but I closed my eyes when he was doing it. And my boyfriend was there with me through all of the meetings that I had. And then so when we finished that, we went to Marks and Spencer's, and we've got some avocados and ham and lettuce. And so when we came home, we fixed a snack of avocados and ham and lettuce, which I guess is like the keto diet. And that's about it. My next appointment is on 25 of this month, and where they're going to insert a marker in the tumor, and then so they'll know which part of the tumor to remove. So I'm going to have a marker in my tumor. I'm going to have the tumor removed next month, and about a month away. And then I'm going to have lymph nodes removed as well. And then I'll have to go back to the doctor to have another meeting where he'll go over with me what he found and see if I've still got cancer and find out. But they said that, you know, the 5-year rate, what they do is they expect you to survive 5 years after you've been treated for cancer. And they said the 5-year rate is very good. But I was watching these other people on YouTube. It was called Eamon and Beck. And she was really young, but she was a vegan, and I wonder if that had anything to do with it. And she got breast cancer, and she had a lumpectomy as well. But then she got pregnant, and I think that what happens with cancer, breast cancer, is breast cancer is very receptive to hormones. And I think probably the pregnancy hormones probably caused the cancer to come back. And then they found out, because her back was hurting, they found out she had stage 4 breast cancer that had come back, and it had come back in her bones. And she still has a YouTube channel, but I don't really watch it that much. I'm interested in their personal lives, but I don't really have a lot of time to watch a lot of their videos. But maybe I should look up the Eamon and Beck YouTube videos and see what else they have to say. But she does have stage 4 breast cancer, and I think that they're probably just trying to live life to the fullest until the end comes. Another thing that they told me, now that I'm thinking about hormones, they said that I'm going to have to take an estrogen blocker, because this tumor. This cancer is very receptive to hormones. So I said, well, I said to them, I said, well, I think I've gone through menopause. And they said, well, your body produces estrogen in other places as well. So you're going to have to take an estrogen blocker too. So that was it for my appointment today. I hope you noticed that I'm not rocking like I was. I'm not as anxious as I was. I've calmed down a little bit, but I'm still not happy. And I do think that this cancer was caused by stress. And my sister says it was caused by my weight. And I can't do anything about my weight. I try my hardest not to eat very much. But I do get up in the middle of the night and eat, which I shouldn't do. But it's too late to do anything about it now. And my aunt had cancer, and she wasn't overweight, not at all. And my mom doesn't have cancer, and she's morbidly obese. So being overweight is not the only criteria for whether or not you're going to get cancer. But I am trying so hard to lose weight, trying so hard not to eat a lot. But the problem is, in the middle of the night, you want to eat. That's the problem. And if I'm hungry, I can't sleep. So there's another problem. So I think I've said everything that I want to say, and I'll make another appointment. I'll make another video when I find out anything new about this operation that I have to have. And on the 25th, I'm supposed to have this marker placed in the tumor. So I'll make a video about having the marker placed in the tumor. And this coming Monday, I have an telephone appointment with the nurse. So I may or may not make a video concerning the telephone appointment with the nurse. So I think I've covered everything that I want to talk about. And I hope you notice I'm not as anxious and rocking like I was in yesterday's video. But that's just the state I was in. They told me I had an aggressive cancer. And they told me it was 20 centimeters, not 2 centimeters. And I was really stressed out about it all. So thank you so much for watching my video. If you like my video, please like and subscribe. And I look forward to making my next video for you.